Dream. One time I tell them I'm California dreaming. California dreaming.
Hey family, what is going on? Oh, how about some light, Jeanette? How about some light on the matter? Hey family, it's your girl Jeanette. I'm back. And I hope that everybody is doing well. Greetings from windy and chilly Baltimore, Maryland. It is a little chilly up here. I hope you all are doing well, taking care of yourselves, staying home if you can. For those of you who are working and still needing to go out, taking all the necessary precautions so that you do what you need to do there. It has been a pretty interesting day so far for me. I think it's so funny now broadcasting from home because I'm like doing the dishes and then like 30 seconds. Oh, jump on the far different than my previous life, but I enjoy being able to spend this time with you all. So throw me some comments, throw me some likes, throw me some loves, and throw me some good energy so that I can feel you all and connect with you all, because that's what it is all about. Oh, there's my Justina says, good afternoon with some sun. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for bringing the sun. So today I have wanted to share a little something with you, but I feel like I need a little more. Now your sun is making me feel like I need a little more light. Hold on, Justine. Thank you for the inspiration. I think we need a little more light. I'm not getting as much sun through the windows as I usually do. I feel like I need, there she, okay, there we are. Okay, now I can feel like, all right, now I'm there. Okay. So today what I want to talk about is this concept of alone versus lonely, loneliness versus being alone, because I think that it's easy for us in this time to get them mixed up. And if you get them mixed up, you could work yourself into some emotions that you don't want to be dealing with or don't need to be dealing with, because it's really not reflective of truly where we are. So Gregory says, good afternoon. How are you, sir? And there is also my lovely Dina. Hey, Dina. Good to see you too. Oh, bunch of good folks. Look at y'all. Hey, Donna. So let's talk about what this means to be alone. Monique, what does this mean when we say alone versus lonely? Okay, so I put it in the description so maybe you all can see. You're alone when you're by yourself, right? You're alone when you're by yourself. You're lonely when you feel abandoned or you're sad due to isolation. Okay? You're alone when you're by yourself. You're lonely when you're sad or you feel abandoned due to the isolation. Don't let the social distancing trick you into believing you're alone. Okay? You get the difference? Very, very different things. Now, for those of my folks that come in and they like to make this a bit of a meditative devotional, let me give you a scripture. So Deuteronomy 31:6 says, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid and don't panic. For the Lord your God will personally go ahead of you, will never leave you or forsake you, is what the good Go King James Version says, right? But will never fail you or abandon you. So you're never alone. And likewise, just like God is omnipresent, always with us, all around us, your friends are still with you here, right? Here, right? So you're not alone. And we have to work to make sure that we do things to not only frame how we sing it, it's all about our perspective, right? But it also has to do with just kind of how we frame our days and how we will use the time that we have to accentuate the connection that we are able to have versus being so tied into what we may not have. Okay. So if this is something, by the way, that you all think your friends could benefit from or other folks that follow you, please do share. And keep the comments coming because I'm going to keep layering them in. So I'm going to just read a little from the action journal, my action journal, the release action journal, where this is actually one of the entries, alone versus lonely. Okay. So we live in a world where our technology promises us to keep us up to date and connected, but so many of us still feel the exact opposite. Cigna released this loneliness survey that said that loneliness is actually at epidemic levels, right? That their survey of over 20,000 Americans found that nearly half of them reported feeling alone or left out. How many of you can say, even before we went through this whole worldwide pandemic, that you were feeling a little isolated or lonely? You can just throw an emoji or that's me in the comment section. That even before this happened, even before all of this was going on, there was some stuff that was going on in your life that, let you feel lonely. Now, what we found out is that this can happen across any age, right? Any circumstance, even when you're surrounded by people. I can be that way. How many of you have ever gone to a party or a big function and you still can kind of feel isolated and alone, right? It's not because of the people around you. It's because of your connection to the people around you. Yeah, right, Justina, right? So it's not about, even when you're at home now, because we're social distancing and we're under these stay-at-home edicts, it's not about, you don't tell yourself that you're alone just because you don't have bodies around you, right? Yeah, Monique, many of us have. Yeah. So don't tell yourself that you're alone because you don't have bodies around you, because there's been plenty of times I've been in big groups of people and still felt alone. So it's not about people's proximity to you. It's about the connection that you have to people. And that's why it's so important now that we do things like this, that we are sharing positivity through our social media platforms. That not only, why am I telling you all to comment and do, not because I want you to pump me up or puff me up, but that's connection. When we engage, that's connection. I see you, I see your icon. Some of you have your families in your icons, the hearts. I see those things. I see the likes. I see those things. All of that stuff brings energy. You all get to see my face. You see my facial expressions. You see how I'm responding to you and what you're saying to me. We're connecting. And those are the things that we have to focus on in this time of isolation, because we don't have the bodies around us. I mean, for those of you who have families, you're kind of wishing some of them bodies would go back to school. Right? Some of you kind of wish that some folks would go back to work. Am I right? So it's not about that. It's about connectivity, right? And so what are the things that we can learn out of this? Now, listen, I am a certified life strategist, mindset coach. I am not the end all be all, but here are some things that I have learned through positive psychology work. And they may not work the same for everybody, but maybe they can work for you. So one of the things that this time can do, that's my fur baby over there. I don't know what she's doing. Madam, do you not know we're streaming? Okay. Some of the things that this time can do can turn you into a seeker. A seeker, right? What are we talking about? Sometimes God causes us to seek him by driving him through the isolation that we experience. Now, listen, this is not me trying to, get on here and throw a book at anybody. I'm just saying, whatever your faith source is, and we all have to have them. I have faith this chair works, so I sit in it. Whatever your faith source is, mine is God. What is your faith source? You've got to believe that this time can help you get more in tune with that within you, right? That gives you the time to cut out the chatter, to cut out the noise, and to begin to hear more clearly. Right? Little girl, I'm talking about hearing more clearly. And you're giving me many more distractions. I wish you could, like, what are we doing? But this can turn you into a seeker when you're not so concerned about what's happening on the outside world. You can, yeah, Nala. She is like on cue. Okay. Yes, that's your girl. Nala is seeking. You're right. She's seeking something up under that mat. It's not quite the seeking I'm talking about, but she is seeking over there. But it can turn you into a seeker, right? We get so busy in our regular day-to-day life that we actually tune out that inner wisdom that we need to tune into. Many of us now are dealing with things like unemployment, your job's on hold, whatever is happening. You've got to be able to hear, because wisdom is what we need now to know what to do, where to go, where not to go, what not to do. Jacina says, whatever the higher power is of your understanding. Absolutely. Absolutely. And guess what? You're going to learn more about it if you get quiet during this time. When we're alone, God has the opportunity to speak to us and have our undivided attention. So that's just one thing that we can use this time to build ourselves up in, is be a seeker. Be a seeker of many things. Be a seeker of knowledge. Read books. Be a seeker of inspiration. Listen to people. Find new sources of inspiration. There's a lot of great content going out now because everybody's having to use social media and this online platform to get it out. So be a seeker of many things. Be a seeker of beauty. Go outside, enjoy the fresh air, not in groups, social distancing. I had a great walk around the Inner Harbor up in Fed Hill. Great to see the trees blowing and feel the wind and get some vitamin D through the sun. So those are the things we're talking. Be a seeker, be a seeker. The second thing is this time can help you develop your character, right? Our weaknesses are often revealed in times of solitude, and it will even test our patience. It will even test different parts of ourselves, right? Because of the separation and the deficiencies that we experience, right? And so instead of being distracted by what's going on all around us, we can see ourselves more clearly. And these are the things that help us develop our character. When you're alone, you get to really ask yourself some questions that you probably have been avoiding. And that's what's important now, is not to use this as a time to deflect and to be distracted by something else, create new distractions to fill your time up. Now's the time to figure out what are the things that I can work on the inside. Take the time to do some self-excavation. The more you do that, the easier it'll be for you when we go back and return to normal, because life will return to normal. When we're able to do that, you go back into the world of work and busy and all of that other stuff, you will keep that connection of being able to hear more clearly and hearing divinely. What else can it inspire? Great creativity. I love seeing the things that people are doing with their time, stuff that they would have never have done. But now that they have no more excuses, now that they don't have any more limitations, they have the time to dig in and to figure out some stuff. Things that seemed crazy before now don't seem so crazy. And they're able to just take the time, and some are doing it on their own. It's a labor of love for themselves. It's what they're doing with their own innate gifts and talents. Some of it is building relationship with their kids. I'm interested in, what are you guys doing? What are you doing to fill your time? How have you been inspired creatively to utilize this time? Some of you have been doing becoming teachers at home, right? As you help your kids during this time of being at home and away from school. Eva's watching. Oh, hey, Eva. Good to see you, Mama. I know some of you all are doing cool little TikToks with your family. That's what you're doing for fun. I saw Jacina and Eva doing some TikTok action. But how else are you guys being inspired in the area of creativity? Because this is another way that, we can make sure that we separate ourselves from feeling alone is remembering we're not alone. We're connected. I have family that loves me. You have friends that love you. You have a support system around you. They might not be with you physically in the flesh or near you in the flesh. I'm about to get this little one in the flesh over here. She is tearing this. Oh, you came to me. Right. Right. You want to see the people? Come on, you can see the people. Come on, you can see the people. You might as well. You've been making all this noise. Make your starring appearance. So, yes, we do things creatively to to pass the time. You want to tell them about some of the things you do? Chewing on a heel. That was something creative that she wanted to do. We stopped that because that's not kind of the creative direction we want to be going in. Chewing on a shoe. Introduce faith to writing imaginary narratives. Oh, that's great. Awesome. That is beautiful. I've been seeing great artwork by kids. I've been seeing all sorts of stuff. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Thanks for popping in. So that's what I'm talking about. There's so many ways that you can be inspired creatively. For those of you who are just joining, we were just going through, just as a quickie little recap, making sure that we don't trick ourselves into believing that we are alone. We might be a little bit lonely because we're distanced, but we're not alone. In our hearts and our minds and our spirits. Alone just means you don't have people or bodies around you, but being lonely means you're sad or you're feeling abandoned and isolated. And if you are, reach out and talk to somebody. Right now, counselors, coaches, therapists are all doing telework. You can do a session just like this. You can get online with somebody and you can find the right fit for you. They have apps for it. You can call and just Google people in your area, but they're all doing that work because we don't want you, if you are suffering deep, not mild depression, but deep depression, then you need some help. And we definitely want you to get that help. Okay. Let's see. Somebody else has a post. Sylvia, glad to hear from you. Continue to enjoy your time. Yes. Well, good to have you too. Nala got creative. She got me to pick her up. And again, you are right. She made enough noise. She knew it. So you're saying this was all a ploy? Probably. You are probably right. She's smarter than we know. So again, if you are really feeling alone, and let me tell you what else is going up. People are adopting animals now. The shelters are getting empty because people are finding that, what they need is a fur animal, a fur baby to take care of during this time so that they aren't the only energy in their house. And I do, even though I can sometimes, but she brings me joy. She really does bring me joy. So that's another option to you if you're feeling like you are alone. But we said that this is a great time to turn you into a seeker of deeper wisdom, of deeper faith, of deeper beauty, of deeper intellect, of deeper rest. Some of you just need to get more rest. You won't let yourself off the hook. Take a day of rest. Seek self-care. That's what some of us need to be seeking. Seek self-care. The other thing we need to be seeking is our development of our character. When we get into these times of situations where we're not filled with the normal yeah. And I know for some of us, you're still as busy as you've ever been. But if you can steal away, get some time to just work on self. Dennis says, amen. Hey, Dennis, good to see you. Right. And then the other thing that we're talking about was inspire creativity. Now's that time to write your book. Now's that time to start that podcast. Now's that time to do whatever it was you were going to do. Because think about it. When have we ever had, for all the things that we lose during this time, if we're going to look to find something to be grateful for, you may be grateful for being able to have the world pause as we all have paused. There is time for you. There's time for you now to do and try and see. And even if you can't get out and do it, immerse yourself in the experience of learning about it online. Immerse yourself in finding out more about it, connecting with these online groups that are discussing exactly what it is that you're interested in. Monique says, can I please get rest? My kids don't like to sleep. Right. And she has 2 little ones, right, Monique? So I get it. I get it. Evelyn says, amen. So guys, I hope that this was just a little nudge to help you remember that, there really is a difference between being alone and being lonely. There really, really is. And if you ever have doubted that, then maybe you just needed a quickie reminder, because at the end of the day, like we said, you could be in I've gone to numerous functions, hundreds of people all around me, and I still felt very alone, because though I was in a crowd of people, the connection wasn't there. Foster your connections. When people come to mind, call them, reach out to them. Go to people's Facebook pages that you haven't been to in a while. Comment, like, see what's happening in their lives. Pick up the phone, go through your contacts, see who you haven't heard from, or who you haven't heard from and who you haven't contacted in a long time. Reach out to them, just check on them and see what's going on. Trina says, Nala said she was feeling alone and she wanted in on the conversation. I actually think you're very, very true, because I do a lot of work on my computer. And so I try to take breaks and play with her, but she just, yeah. They're saying you got your way. Is that what this was all a ploy? You got your way. She got her way. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for, tuning into these. I hope that these are bringing value. I'm not on just to feed my own ego or anything like that. It is my heart's desire to share with you. I've been sharing with you all material out of my book, The Release Action Journal. It was a 21-day guide, and it is on Amazon. I'll put the link in the bio. I've been sending out free copies to people, just wanting to bless people and make sure that positivity still flows from my toolbox. Yes, Evelyn, that's exactly what we've been talking about. The difference in being isolated and being separated. Harris says, Patrick says it was all part of a master plan. I'm telling you, I think y'all are exactly right. Harris says, I'm not alone. God is with me. When you turn on worship music, his presence comes with liberation. Absolutely. You've got to know those things that feed your soul and feed your spirit. What are those things? And listen, don't be afraid to be the first one. I don't know why I'm saying this. Clearly, somebody needs to hear this on here. Don't be afraid to be the first one to reach out. Don't just wait for people to reach out to you. Like, oh, well, they should be checking on me. Don't do that. Reach out. Check on people. Send them a text, even if you got to do like a template text. Hey, just check. Thank you, Nina. Hey, just checking on you. Wanted to see how you're doing. And, as we're all riding this thing out, holler back. Let me know what's good, and just send it. Send it out. Send it out with love. Send it out with care. You would be surprised by the connections that you may restore or strengthen during this time. There will always be a silver lining, guys. And you all know that have been following me. I'm not in any way making light of what we've been through, what's happened, people who have become sick, people who have lost their lives. I'm no way making light of any of that. But in all things, can we find something to be grateful for? In all things, can we find something that is the silver lining to help propel us to move on? Look, you're still here. It might not be like it used to be, but you're still here. It might not feel good, but you're still here. It might be, you're a little inconvenienced, but you're still here. Evelyn says she believes there's a cleansing going on. In many ways, it is providing a cleansing, isn't it? You're still here, and you've made it out of things before. Listen, we had an economic crash, 2007, 2008. You're still here. We will make it. We will make it. We've just got to keep finding those keys that allow us to make the best out of any situation. Make sure that you walk with your hand in God's hand. And if that's a concept beyond you and you want to talk to me more about it, that's cool. DM me. But whatever your faith understanding is, whatever your faith and foundations lay in that, it must be love. Let me say that. It must be grounded in love. And this is not a time for us to be separated. This is not a time for us to be more divided. This is a time for us to reach out, check on loved ones and friends and the elderly, and rest in the midst of it. Absolutely, Harris. Very well said. This is a time for us to synergistically link up hearts, minds, and spirits so that we can take care of ourselves individually and that we can take care of each other in our world. Celeste says, I believe everyone's here for a reason. Absolutely, Celeste. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to get rest in the mid. Absolutely. This is a marathon, not a short distance run, not a sprint. So we got to take care of ourselves, everybody. And I hope that all of you are on point today, woman. Thank you so much, Mama. Appreciate that, Evelyn. I hope you all are. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. We've only got ourselves and each other. So let's make it last. Now, do me a favor. If you love this, like or comment, make sure that you like or share a comment so that I can put you in. I'll continue doing these throughout the week. Share these on your pages. That's how you help me as a coach, because people see this kind of stuff going out, and if they find value in it and it resonates with them, then they find a person that they can come to and lean on. Nina says, walk by faith and not by sight. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Love you all to life. Thanks so much for joining me and getting on to share a little time. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I charge you to do something fun for yourself. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it could be. I don't know. Do something crazy. I don't know. Do one of these virtual dance parties they got going on. I don't know. But do something fun. Do something to lighten your spirit. Watch something fun on TV. Listen, get on Zoom with a bunch of your girlfriends or your guys, your dudes, hook it up. Just check on each other. Find a way to connect so you will not be lonely even when you're alone. Okay? Love you all so much. I don't even want to leave you, but I have to go. Love you all so much. Take good care. We'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye now.
Dream. One time I tell them I'm California dreaming.